You guys got like a kind of a small fractal of like a week of training, what it would actually like feel like. Yeah, it's kind of really nice. To have a container fundamentally. Like most practitioners on the internet, I think the primary issue is that there's just you and books and websites and a parasocial relationship with someone online, a YouTuber. But in these conditions you find yourselves in, kind of it's kind of like we're on retreat together. We also have our lives, etc., but we all practice together and really examine like the fundamental matter. Mm. And mostly, this week we've been fundamentally talking about mind training, orienting towards individual liberation. Um, Nothing, not much beyond that, but in the sense of really, I mean, in a real way, paying attention and in the kind of subtext I find is a tremendous willingness to be gentle with ourselves. It's like we are exiting our experience continuously. We are avoiding ourselves. I don't know. It's kind of heartbreaking in some level, right? Because for all intents and purposes, if you are orientated towards a contemplative path, and well, I think most of you guys are, you want to be here in a real sense, like there's nothing but yourselves. So to reject yourself would be in a real way suicidal and kind of ridiculous on some level. And obviously there are other people, and that's kind of the beauty of the container is you are a closed loop system, and a closed loop system is designed to maintain itself. Even if it wants new data coming in, it's going to maintain itself. We're filtering constantly data. Mostly we're ignoring a lot of shit. It's how we maintain ourselves. It's how we don't fucking change, fundamentally. But when you are forced in a container, when you're dealing literally with the fact that there are other practitioners, other people, instructors, mentors, you're very much cornered and maybe for the first time realize you don't have a particular escape mechanism from yourself. Because oddly enough, in our seeming reality, other people actually can see us better than ourselves. And it takes a little bit of I guess, openness and willingness to be humble to admit that it's very difficult to see ourselves. We spend most of our resources avoiding looking at ourselves at all costs. Um, a lot of us have to take psychedelics. I mean, think about it. We have to take psychedelics to examine ourselves. It's just kind of crazy if you think about it. When all you really have to do is just sit down. Hmm. Or you just have to relate with beings. And then suddenly you'll be obviously presented with the fact that here you are, and just by being yourself, you have effects. You relate, that other people are affected by you, that other people can affect you as well. That actually that's perfectly normal and fine. And without that endless feedback mechanism from reality, which is just not our closed loop system, there is no path because there's just you. And the illusion of the self-made man or woman is a very particular Western illusion. It's not, it's Franco, we were talking about that you're never alone. That aloneness is not actually, though it's a position, it's actually an embodied position of aloneness is actually really good for you. But in the real sense, like if you really dive into that, you realize like what you are is a lineage of so many fucking beings. Like your parents, your ancestors, every being who's taught you language, who taught you how to walk, who taught you how to read, who taught you how to relate. I mean, yeah, it's not all perfect, and mostly it's poorly constructed. Nonetheless, you don't stand on your own ever. I mean, the food we get is grown by people. It's just this is how isolated we are as modern beings. We really think we can be alone.
Yeah, the analogy that I always think of is like the words in a dictionary. It's like if you think you're a solid self, then you think that you're like it's like a one word addiction that somehow defines all the other words or is the source of the other words. And that's a mistaken view, right? If you look at it, every word in the dictionary is connected to every other word. It's defined by every other word, and you can't land a specific word that is the cause of all the other words. There's only a web of cause and
Yeah.
conditionings. Infinite webs are infinite webs of cause and conditionings. And you try
But it's
to
crazy, Frank, right? Why we don't
that's
see
what
that.
you are.
Like, yeah. We are obsessed with ourselves to such a degree that really we come to the position of solipsism, that we think we're the only one in existence. And oh my God, you just have to have one relationship to realize that that is absolutely not true. And that you don't have control over everything. But that doesn't mean you don't have control at all. Like,
Mm, yeah. Yeah, it's so easy for the mind to just take spiritual teachings and just hijack it and still continuously reinforce that loop. That's why even people that take psychedelics, right? A lot of them actually just reinforce, make their view even harder if they refuse to
yeah, because
investigate.
the experience of psychedelics is very real
Yeah.
and convincing.
So if you are prone towards solipsism, you take psychedelics, then now it's like the whole universe is me. Or or I like idealism, oh, there's no objective world. Now you reinforce, now you verify and substantializing, oh, there's just a subjective experience.
Wow.
Or the oneness. Oh, now I'm this oneness being, whatever. But you're not seeing it now. Well, oneness is also codependent rising with separateness.
And
Reject
you know
separateness.
that,
Yeah.
right? The insight is very particular. The insight is you are always in the position of constructing your position. And not only are you constructing it, you are the construction
Mm.
while constructing it. Right? If you want to be locked up in a solipsistic or idealistic world, then you can
That's what you're gonna
absolutely,
get.
yeah, forever until like you get smacked around by reality. Like most people don't come to Dharma until, well, they fucking suffer. Like I'm assuming all of you have at least suffered significantly in your life, or you wouldn't be interested in this shit. Any healthy young person, I don't know if you guys are young, but if you're healthy and young and you're interested in Dharma, something's really fucked up. Something happened to you. Because healthy people just, it's like, I'm gonna get some pussy, I'm gonna get, some money, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna get a job. Like, that's what you do. You just do the thing. But if you do the thing and you're intelligent, you realize, whoa, this shit doesn't work. Fuck. Something's off. Like, even if it's like working, it's like, fuck, I have everything. The worst position is to have everything. Like, literally have everything, have done everything, and you're just like, I fucking want to kill myself. This fucking sucks. And then that's the point where you, well, either kill yourself slowly or fast, or you become more intelligent and creative and go, okay, there's got to be a different way. There's got to be something's off here. Um, and everyone in society and culture is going to gaslight you into saying that, oh, no, 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 you're doing a good job. Everything's great, man.
Oh yeah, they're actually doing that to maintain their view of
Yep.
it-
Yep.
the culture view of what is considered great, and then they're enforcing that. They're trying to maintain their view, so they're telling you, "Hey, you're doing a good job," even if they like put you down in a sense. Whether they
Yep.
compliment you or put you down, it's still like this whole collective view thing
Yeah.
that's constantly trying to maintain. Like the way I guess you can say that's the Matrix, right? That's exactly what the Matrix.
Yeah.
The Matrix will
You
do
need
anything
you,
you can to
you need
to
to get better.
sustain
You
yourself.
need to get stronger, smarter, right? And we bring the same kind of thing to
The
spirituality, right?
spirituality, exactly. Yeah, yeah. You know, oh, this doesn't work. All this other programs is not really working out. Let's do the spiritual program. But then that's why you keep talking about self-invalidating even spirituality. It's like, oh, we tried this technique, that technique, this technique. Okay, they all has to fail. Actually, ultimately, you're gonna come to this point where you realize, oh, actually, I was doing Vipassana, but it's actually reinforcing observer, whatever the case is. I'm distancing, or I'm
Yeah.
fading. I'm
It
insisting
really comes.
reality has to be like, oh, no
Yeah.
concept, but whatever your flavor
Yeah.
is, yeah. Then you bring it here. Uh,
Well,
yeah.
we just realized how aggressive we are actually to ourselves in our world. There's this basic aggression underneath all the insisting, all the exiting, all the fading. We just properly can't meet our lives. There's a basic aggression. Like to be properly trained as a meditator, if you are a meditator and you're properly trained, you don't have aggression. You cannot be aggressive towards experience because experience is all you have. You have nothing else. Nothing. Literally nothing else. All you have is your immediate experience. So to have an aggressive stance towards that is just the most ridiculous, dumb shit you can do. But you have to realize how stupid you are in that sense. Because each one of us is doing it in our own unique way, continuously.
It's like constantly dropping a rock on your foot, like constantly. And then one day you're just like, hey,
Just like,
I don't need to do that actually.
I mean, yeah. And then you realize, like, holy shit, like things are actually fine. Like, the reality isn't actually just broken. It functions actually perfectly and properly. It's a perfect response. It's a perfect mechanism where it perfectly tells you precisely how you're relating with it. Like literally, if you're suffering, there's a cause. You're doing it. That's like the best thing, best news ever if you understand just like logically, like that just means like literally you don't actually have to suffer ever if you fucking just stop. Right? But you can't stop because you're habitual, because you're forced to,
We
because
don't know
to
it's better.
stop, it's
So we
difficult.
think they're suffering because we don't know any other way.
Yeah.
So anything we do to try to get out of suffering, like, oh, that's just temporary relief, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
those,
yeah, yeah.
it's
All
still
the
doing that.
technique,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
It just reinforces the
Until
opposite.
you think I think Frank, that's what I think transmission affords us in that real sense. It's only from the position of transmission in the sense of meeting another literal living being who has gone on the journey. They might not be enlightened or like a fully cooked being. Nonetheless, they've gone on the journey enough for you to go, hey, there's something there. They have something. They are recognizing something that's like actually real. And not only that, it's not an idea that you, in their presence, you can breathe more, right? In their presence, suddenly you are becoming more, things become more resolution. Like you just have more resolution about yourself. I hope that each one of you guys in this container, at least in these last 5 days, have found at least more resolution to your practice. And maybe you can see your experience clearer. That's not fucking random. There's a lot of intent and energy poured into this. We also just finished 12 weeks of pretty ruthless practice altogether, in which a very tight container. and in a real way, as you guys are able to just enjoy the fruits of that. Mm. We're all kind of in a real sense ride sharing off each other. Mm. But that's the ultimate value of Sangha. Because the world will, I mean, I'm going everywhere. Sorry, guys. I'm just in a monologue phase, but like the world will continually fucking gaslight you and convince gonna fucking work somehow that it's going to solve the problem of samsara. It'll just keep you in the fucking mat race, like the race, the rat race. Like you're just gonna keep going endlessly, spinning. Yeah, the world is a cult. There's only cults. Like you literally always looking for the solution, never realizing what the actual problem is, only looking at the symptoms, never really diving into the real cause. Hmm, right? Well, the cause is you. You're never gonna fucking find it anywhere else until you sit down and corner yourself, until you study how you exit, how you avoid, how everything you do is an aggression towards what is, right? Until you develop the discipline of being kind, literally being gentle with your experience, with your life, with you. We're not even going to talk about other people right now. Like, if you can't even be gentle to yourself, don't even bother. Because then your gentleness towards others, it just serves you.
Yeah, that aggression reminds me of it's kind of like how all these different streams of cause and conditioning, like infinite webs, it's like you cannot stand apart from it. So then the aggression, it's almost like trying to like peek out through, like trying to like do this with your head and trying to look around. But you know what I mean? But then all you see is like just streams of cause and conditioning. It's like, but even that itself, it's like just within that stream that you can't find like a node that actually can stick out, but we think we can.
You know,
I
that's
don't know if that
the
analogy
Frank
makes sense.
the Lucifer urge, right? The
Yeah.
well, that is what we call I am. Like
That could be
literally
the I
from
am of the small self, or even now you get into spirituality, it's I am of the now you're a
yeah,
huge node. You think you're a huge node, but then
yeah, identity, right? Like that's the first mistake. Identity. It's our stake. We're going, I here. I'm fucking here and I'm here. Like, and not only that, I gotta protect myself. Because if you're here, there's infinite chaos around you.
Mhm.
Right? It's very natural. As soon as you have that identity, it's like, oh shit, I gotta acquire fucking stuff. I gotta protect myself. That's really nice and shiny. I like that. But mostly I'm gonna just huddle down, right?